validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt up on the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher constantly, making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. Whoa. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. Happy New Year again for you guys, January 3rd. I know that we are enjoying ourselves in the new year as we do that countdown towards the new president. Today is supposed to be a pretty interesting show. We're supposed to have Alan on today. I don't see him yet, so we're going to see if he's going to pop in. I sent him a few emails. We're going to get him onto the show. Alan created that song, Higher Ground, for the This and That podcast. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. You can also join the membership. We have today, we're supposed to be talking to Alan about the behind the scenes efforts of putting together a song of that magnitude. We have the whole soundtrack that we're going to be kind of rocking today in the background of the show. So I wanted to just kind of teeter into that as we start going into all of the tracks. So we actually had a nice privileged experience with talking to one another about their ability to create music. And I've been doing a lot of promotions for a lot of branded content over the many moons of our current micro affiliate position, our micro influencer status. And they had explained to us that they would be able to do a good job with representing what we stand for here on the podcast. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. So I kind of felt like, yeah, we could give them a whirl and see what was going on. So in this scenario, after we did a little bit of the discussion, they decided to write a couple songs, and after they wrote a few songs, they actually performed them, and then that led to the tracks that we have now. So I was actually pretty shocked when I first heard them because I did not think that these were the kind of tracks that we would have come up with for the podcast. And this company coming out of Switzerland, if I remember correctly, uh, live band style music. Uh, More to the metal genre, but still very good music that I definitely listen. Listen to it every day because it's my opener and my closer to the podcast. So, you know, I actually really enjoy it. And I think that you guys are going to enjoy it as well because, I mean, it's just some pretty good stuff. Let's see if I could just go ahead and throw some in the background as we continue on with the show. They have small, let's see, we got a 5-track album, and that's the opener. Uh, ooh, let's try this one here. There we go. Oh, and I think that one's the closer. So these are two of the ones that they had made. You'll be able to hear this one towards the end of the show. Let's grab one of the other ones that you haven't heard yet. This is one of them. And there's another one. There's 5 songs, but 3 of them are kind of different variations of the same song. But then we have 2, one called Elevation Protocol, and then there was another one called Non-Negotiables. I thought those were very interesting tracks, and I was really taken aback by it. So I felt like that was, like I said before, it was a pretty good representation of us. I wanted to know from Alan when Alan came in and started talking to us about the choice of lyrics for the songs when after our conversation, what led him to do the things that he did for this particular set of songs. So I thought that this was very interesting when they made it. One of the things that we actually had a discussion about, which I thought was really cool, because I was listening to some of these songs and I was like, you know, this could lead to, like, if I had my WrestleMania moment, if I could make a WrestleMania intro, like this would be the kind of stuff I'd have as my background. If I was playing like Raw versus SmackDown, I would actually throw this in as my character's intro music. And I was like, yeah, this is just awesome stuff. Hold on a second, we got a couple comments in here. There is Alex. He says, he has a album and then he has another one. Not all guys are finishing last. Do you make your own music, or do you have like somebody else making music for you? Because I think that is pretty cute that you have the type of titles that you selected for that particular one. Um, One of the ones that I really wanted to see if I could get non-negotiables up here, but I think this one allows me to upload the audios, and I don't have all of the audios. Either way, I do know that I have like 4 out of 5 of them up here because non-negotiables was like one of the ones that I said to myself that I was gonna make the next outro or intro song to, because I've got 5 different songs and I wanted to do 2 in the beginning and 2 at the end and then alternate them throughout the week, because I felt like it would be fantastic to have these tracks, because this is like the kind of music that even Alan agreed with me that it kind of like it should outstand the test of time. And a lot of people that are into like heavy metal and rocking out, like this is the kind of stuff that would really resonate with them. This particular one that we're listening to in the background is almost like a superhero style music. So I'm like, man, this is the kind of stuff that it definitely, this is some groundbreaking music. So I actually really enjoyed it. The album was released last month, and it was a fantastic release. And this will be the first year that the songs are out, and you can actually grab them off of YouTube. They're also on SoundCloud and Spotify and all these other places. And I thought that the fact that it actually spread very quickly, like every time I try to do something, like it's on Twitch right now. Twitch sent me notifications about the copyrights. It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok. So just about everywhere music is played, these songs are out there, and I was very enthusiastic about it. Now, this is the one that was called Elevation Protocol, and I thought that this one was pretty sweet. Um, and I got to tell you guys, when you have a conversation with somebody and you say, hey, hey, I'm thinking about like trying to represent the group in a certain way that kind of give a little bit of a backdrop of who you are and how you operate, and then they just take what you tell them and then they turn them into stuff like this. It's like, man, the inspiration is crazy, but they put a lot of work into what they do. So I'm very proud of him, and I wanted to make sure that Alan had his day in the spotlight. So that's one of the reasons why we were doing today's show, because these guys make music on a regular basis. They have a tune to uh, platform that has a label, alanito.music, and like I said before, they're out of Switzerland. Uh, they've been around for a while. They've made a lot of songs. I was hoping that Alan would be able to provide us with a list of songs that they have released, but we still think that this is going to be pretty high up there when it comes down to uh, the betterment of like popularity. But I've done my research on at least the music side of things, and I've come to learn that the average song does pretty good with viewership these days, with everything being streamed. That it would potentially run somewhere along the lines. Oh, I do have the accessibility to this one. I wonder if I can upload it. But it would be somewhere around a few hundred thousand to a few million plays, because they have this streaming thing that they have right now, as opposed to um, back in the day when I was younger, people had to buy CDs and stuff like that, and they did not have the ability to where did I put it? Oh, all right. So let's see if we can click and drag. We didn't have the ability to put certain things into certain places because we didn't have accessibility to anything other than like 5 disc CD changers and burners back in our days. I know if y'all remember, those of you that are middle aged or older, y'all remember back when we were really young and we had cassette tapes and reel to reel players. Nowadays, you've got like digital equipment that can automate things, and then you can drop an album anywhere and like basically be your own backstage DJ and put your music together. But these guys did a great job of putting this stuff together, and I was actually pretty impressed by it. Let me see. I'm gonna try uploading it another way. There's a because the one that I really want you guys to take a gander of is the one called non-negotiables. There it is. And I'm gonna see if I can get it up. Yep, there it is. And we'll be able to, after this one wraps itself up, we'll be able to take a listen to that one, because I thought that one was just it was actually really cool. It was really cool. So since it's been out since last month, me and Alan, we're gonna be looking at the music market and seeing how well all 4 of the songs play. It's a 5 album set. It's specifically for This and That. So you'll see the This and That logo on the album uh, uh, cover, and potentially when you look at it on YouTube and other places, you'll see the This and That logo on the profiles or platforms that are playing it. So you can't miss it if you're looking for us. If you Google this and that in different places, you'll see the album that has these songs on it, so you'll be able to enjoy them while you're racing through the streets, while you're rocking out with your boys, while you're sitting there trying to contemplate your next diabolical plan. Because when we're trying to take over the world of business, we got to be like Peaky and the Brain with it. And this was a pretty lucrative deal, because not only do we get to promote the skills of a live band and their artistic uniqueness, because I didn't tell them what to do. We just had a conversation. I didn't even give them a specific genre that I work in. So I did not tell them anything other than, we come from a very strict position of trying to raise ourselves up and setting ourselves a higher level of standards and boundaries. And that's where his lyrics are coming from. And I listened to it and I'm like, wow, that's phenomenal. So today's show was supposed to be dedicated to them, because I wanted to give a special shout out to them. I also want to give a special shout out to Red Void, Omni 81, Liberty Twitcher, Red Void, and hold on a second, we're gonna run this one this time. So let's pause that. Let's see if we can run this one. And we were supposed to be trying to get oh yeah, I said special shout out Liberty Twitcher, Red Void, Omni 81, Reese, Max the Poser, Joe, AJ, Mr. Pibbs. Big shout outs to you guys real quick. And then let's see if we can get this to throw us out a little bit of lucrative music. Let's see. It is not giving me an internal. Let me see if I can get it on the other one. Because non-negotiable is like one of the ones that I really wanted you guys to listen to, because I thought that one popped up on the back end and I was like, wait, that's really good. Like, can you guys oh yeah, I got it. Just for some reason it just didn't play. This is one of those situations, just like last Sunday when we had that issue with uploading the file. Because you were utilizing StreamYard and we were trying to get that file up, and for some reason it just would not play for us, and I was so disappointed because I was trying to get us to get the audio file up there playing last week, and it just didn't do what we wanted it to do. This week we're going to try to see how well it works for us. It's probably going to be doing the same thing, because I think we have a shortage in the internet bandwidth, and it just has not given us everything that we wanted to have. You know what, though? I can still get it for us because I'm a man of improvisation. So with that being said, I'm going to take it straight to the source, because if you go to the description right below the show, you can see the text of the show. I mean the contents of the songs right there in the description. So you'll see all of them, all 5 songs there. So let's see which one. We want to look for non-negotiables. So we're going to go over here and grab us the non-negotiables. And I grabbed where we can get it from, because you can get it from Amazon. So I just grabbed the Amazon link. I didn't want to grab the Amazon link. I wanted to grab the actual non-negotiable song link. So let me go ahead and get that. Ooh. Let me turn down the volume on that, because that's going to give us a little bit of what to do. So let's go ahead and pull this. See if I can. Let me know if y'all can hear it. I'm going to share the I don't know if it's going to share sound, but we're going to go ahead and share a screen and see what happens here. So when they brought this one to my attention, I was like, oh my goodness, because it definitely gives us a whole nother area of entertainment. So I was actually sitting there jamming out. Now I showed this to Mr. Pips because he's a buddy of mine. He used to be on the podcast. He's a big fan, and when I showed it to him, he was like, "Sweet." And this one was like the one that made me think, we could go somewhere and turn up with this. So now I'm sitting here thinking, like, remember when we was growing up and we were like doo 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 doo, like making up our own theme music. I'm sitting here thinking, bro, this is the scenario where you could legitimately have your own theme music. So I actually thought these guys were fantastic. I was really proud of them for that. In the meantime, make sure that you guys like and subscribe while we're sitting here hanging out with this, trying to rock out with these guys. Um, Red Void, I know that you could probably get access to a lot of these on YouTube. I do not have these accessed on Twitch yet, but they are definitely on YouTube. But you can see that the title is called This and That, Everything in Between, which is just about the whole show's name. They've got all of the songs organized on the track, and you can just click the link from the description in the podcast right now, and it'll take you straight to the song, and you would be able to rock out and listen to them whenever you feel like it. Or if you wanted to click the links below the link of the song, as you can see here, you have the songs on their track, but on my page you have the links to where you can get them from on Amazon. And that's one of the things that's a little bit different from just going ahead and rocking out to it, because you can purchase a song and download them, and then you can have them in your personal collection. And that's actually a little bit better than just rocking out to it on YouTube. But, hey, I like rocking out on YouTube because YouTube is really good, especially if you have YouTube Red with the premium. It's commercialless, and then you can just like set some music up in the background, and you can just ride around in your car, and you don't have to deal with the average day-to-day music that the young kids are listening to that doesn't actually motivate you to do anything better with yourselves. And that's one of the reasons why I really like these guys and the music that they made, because first thing is that the music is usually like a subliminal message, and it kind of motivates you, inspires you, and kind of convinces you to do whatever with your life, make a certain direction of choices. And the interesting part about it is that this type of music motivates you to stick to your guns, to stay on top of your own personal expectations, to not default for anybody, and to build yourself up and try to aim for a better way of life, a better way of doing things. And that's one of the things that made me say, you know what, yeah, I kind of like the way they ran it. So I was very enthusiastic about it. I'm still enthusiastic about it. And it's again one of those things that makes me say, yeah, I am definitely looking forward to seeing exactly how well these things do for the year. So every quarter we check up, we check the progress of it. We're able to talk about it. So I think since we released it in December, we should be talking about in March how many copies we sold in the first quarter, how many times somebody touched base on the song, played it, bought it, resold it, whatever. And we'll be able to continue to keep track of that, and I'll be able to let you guys know what's going on with that. But I also encourage you guys just to grab it, because this is something that you guys could tap dance with on a regular basis. So yeah, today was all about getting Alan in from alanito.music to talk about the debut. But I guess because he's in Switzerland, we kind of got time differences mixed up. But I checked the emails. I had sent him some emails. He told me he was looking forward to coming, and I thought he was going to be in the show on time. But he did not make it. He probably got distracted or pulled away based on a short notice emergency. I can tell you, this is not a convenient time of night for Americans, but if you're in Switzerland, this might be like first thing in the morning for you. So, I would assume that, you know, something unexpected came up and he just didn't get to it, because I sent him some emails to remind him about it, right? A couple hours before the show, an hour before the show, 30 minutes before the show, 10-minute countdown. The only thing I didn't do was tell him, hey, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, and then it'll notify you that we're live. So if you didn't know, and you would jump on, because today was supposed to be the day. But it's all right. I'll be able to let him know that we kind of rocked out to the music throughout the podcast. And then he'll be able to let the label know, because in order for me to stay monetized, they got to notify YouTube that I'm actually authorized to play the songs, so that YouTube doesn't hit me with those copyright infringements. Speaking of, I was talking to, because while I was talking to T-Mobile, because I have T-Mobile, and we were talking about the internet, and the internet is doing good right now because it didn't flake out on us this time. We started 10 minutes late so that it wouldn't flake out on us. But the thing was that we were having a lot of conversations, and I was telling the agent that was working for T-Mobile, I was telling them, there's so many restrictions in so many different places, and you don't even know them until you start asking around. And then I started telling her things like the YouTube restriction that makes it hard for people to get seen these days, because if you have too much adult vocabulary in your podcast, they automatically put you into the adults only section. So even though your show isn't rated 18 and up, YouTube puts you into a restricted category that puts you by default in an 18 and up scenario naturally. So you don't get as many views, which really hurts you as a content creator. But for those as a fan of certain topics, certain content, certain styles of dialogue, you miss out on everything that's being released if you didn't know that YouTube has a standard restriction mode on, and you have to manually go in there on your iPhone or your Android and turn that off. We found out that certain phone companies, they have parental control restrictions by default on the account, and you have to call them up and let them know that you want them to remove that, because they don't tell you when you activate the account that this stuff exists. But if you call them and ask them if there's any restrictions on your account, they'll tell you yes there is, and then you ask them to remove those restrictions, and then all of the adult stuff that you used to not know was there starts pulling up. And when I say adult stuff, it's not like pornography or anything. It's like anything that has too much skin showing, anything that has extreme dialogue, anything that has like drinking, smoking, gambling, violence, loss of life, anything that has people directly being bullied or indirectly being abused in some way, shape, or form. All of that stuff gets blocked out. Anything that's not PG-13 turns into adult only. Like, that's basically what happens. So and then they also have a stream restriction on there that's a default status. So if you don't undo that, you'll come to find out, well, dang, like I'm missing out on so much stuff, and my network is so much slower because I didn't know that this was a thing. And that's why on this podcast, I'm always looking into things and trying to find things of relevance to entertain you guys with, because if you didn't know that that was a thing, you never would have thought to ask. And that's one of the ways that we encourage you guys to be higher valued individuals, is by making sure that you know that there are other things that you guys can do. And then after that, you would also be able to make different choices, better choices, and improve the way you live the life that you live. So we put together, that's why we put together these songs with Alan, because I mean, that's what we preach on the podcast for so long. And we also point out and try to make it make sense. So with that being said, there was a fan that had came up onto the podcast. Well, he was in the chats. He was actually in the chats, and he was talking to us for a while about the relationship topics that we had that came up. It was last week's relationship topics, and I started dropping the statistics down. And I got to tell you, dude's feelings got hurt about 4 or 5 days ago. and he left me such a derogatory statement that it was in the restricted section. I just found it earlier today, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna approve it so that I can respond to it, because I was like, nah. His name was Chad Samurai, and he was sitting over here saying that the statistics that were derived behind females that prefer financial stability and prefer the man to be responsible for that financial stability, that those types of statistics were red pill incels that did not know anything about women. And I'm like, wait, these are big government entities. These are gigantic research facilities that are doing these statistics from last year, the year before that, 5 years ago, that all showing the same data. And you're saying that those are all misogynistic companies. I'm like, nah, that's like fishing at best, because you jumped onto a podcast that is going to talk about social inequality from a male's point of view, which means that we're not going to be sitting over here talking about how the men are holding anybody down. Because if anybody talks about anything unequal, the host is not going to be the one saying, yeah, I'm part of the privilege group. No, if there's going to be a discussion about the lack of privilege, the lack of choice, the lack of perception, usually the host is going to talk about how, hey, I either seen this from a third party perspective, or I'm part of the group that's not benefiting from these scenarios. That's what's worth talking about, because when you're making it make sense, you're only making it make sense by pointing out what's wrong and what needs to not be allowed to be wrong. And that's one of the things that we don't check ourselves on, because since we don't check ourselves on recognizing when we should not allow certain things to happen to us, that's the reason why we allow so many things to happen to us. And that's why we end up in such a bad place. So once this stuff came out, and look, I start enjoying the song, lose my train of thought. Once this stuff comes out and we start talking about it, that's when we're able to start doing differently. And the guy that I was talking to, his feelings was hurt about the scenario when I pulled out all the stats. And then he was like, oh, do you know women? And I was sitting over here thinking, yeah, I know a bunch of women, but if I could name 100 women that I'm not related to, how would that change the statistics that I'm showing you? Because I'm showing you a bunch of statistics. And I'm like, I think that you should really do your research, cross-reference what I say, and then provide me with some research and information that shows that what I'm telling you is wrong. Well, he doesn't know that I definitely did in-depth research before I aired the show. So all the sources and then I did in-depth research before I responded to him. So anything that I didn't put into the show, I'm putting into this comment section. So as I'm explaining to him how wrong he is, then he comes back and starts doing all the name calling and stuff. And I asked him, I said, because his explanation halfway through was that he knows more about this than I do because he was married. Notice he said was. So I pointed that out. I said, was means past tense, right? So which one divorced which one? Did she leave you or did you leave her? Because it does explain the bitterness. But the other thing that it points out is that, well, if you once was married and now you're divorced, I was right. Because statistics show that women leave the men 70 to 90% of the time. So if you're divorced, there's a 70 to 90% chance that she left you, which means that you're part of the status quo, which means that my information is correct. And usually it's a hard pill for anyone to swallow when I talk about stuff on this podcast, because the things that I tell you is true to life with no remorse for your feelings towards the truth. So your feelings are important for your self-esteem. Your feelings are important for how I directly impact you with my behavior. But when I'm calling out facts and statistics and national averages, I'm not really concerned about how you feel about the delivery of the message, because my job here wasn't to win you over with the delivery. My job here was to inform you and then you take it in the forefront, in the back of your mind. You can wait until everybody's sleeping, go over there and go get it, and then you take advantage of the information that I gave you. That way you can be more successful. Now, not everybody does that. A lot of people tend to skate the issues until they have no other choice, and then all of a sudden they got to throw in a towel because they don't have enough resources to back themselves up. But there's always another way. Just gotta know where to look. So I try to help you guys by helping you guys figure out where you can look so that you can put everything out there and aid everybody with success. But not everybody likes to be told when they're doing wrong. And I've said that on a plenty of times. I've said specifically that you can't tell somebody who is screwing up that they're screwing up, because there's no nice way to say stop screwing up. You can only point out that you don't appreciate what they're doing, or you would encourage them to stop doing what they're doing, but they're being their own people, they're being their own adults. They can say and do whatever they want, however they want, and then you just gotta like accept that. So as I try to encourage everybody to be financially successful, that's why we jam out to these this and that tracks, because it is the one of the most unique albums that I have heard. And I always thought about it back in the day when I used to watch wrestling and I used to see the people come out with their entrances. I used to think to myself, like, who wrote their lyrics? Not because it was bad or anything. I was just curious, because it's like, if that's what you got to do. You got to like talk to a band and say, hey, let's have a conversation that might give you inspiration to write you a new single. So that you can have your own. Like, I really believe two things, I think, on a regular basis, because everything is automated right now. They've got auto-tune and all this other stuff. Like, genuine live band, that's something that's hard to find, and that is a fantastic experience to have. And then again, the talent behind what they do sounds like they've been doing this for at least 10, 15 years, and it gives you practice. So you're promoting them, they're promoting you, and y'all got a symbiotic relationship. I find that one of those aspects of business and finance that I tell you guys about that you guys didn't want to listen to before, but think about it. If you can learn from a stranger how to invest, how to buy, how to save, how to travel, where you're not wasting your entire year's income on improving your standard of living wherever you are, you could make yourself a millionaire. You just got to set your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan. Even if your 5-year plan ends with you in another country, you have to have a 10-year plan that follows that. You have to have a 20-year plan that runs concurrent with that. You got to figure these things out. But as you figure these things out, you start finding ways to make yourself more successful, which makes yourself more useful, which makes yourself have more opportunities to be financially successful, because all it takes is for your business to already be running and a millionaire walk in there and say, I want to buy that, and you just made yourself a million. Because it's an active idea that is currently making capital. That's what people don't think about. You wear clothes until it doesn't work anymore and you throw it in the trash, but you can invest the whole time you have it. And that's like what people don't think about when we think about Saturn and Mars being the next opportunity for humans to move on and make things crazy. I'm like, why can't we make a buck today right here on the planet Earth right now in the United States or internationally? Because I spend a lot of time on the show talking about ways to make money, ways to start up a business, ways to put your money into a trust so that your kids don't get negatively impacted by the legal system. Ways for you to protect yourself in a relationship so that you can not allow yourself to succumb to some of the negative behavior in a relationships. And for some reason, we're still in an era where people believe that they've got to ask their wives for permission to make decisions. And I'm like, bro, as much as I like a 50-50 side scenario, I also prefer the upbringing of you got to pay the cost to be the boss. As you guys roll in, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. I have a question for you guys, though, that I think that it's very to ask. The question really is, Have anybody heard about that back in the day? You got to pay the cost to be the boss. And it's not just money, it's stuff, it's effort. And it is a very tedious scenario to piece those things together. But when women say that they can do everything that men can, I'd say no. You guys can't put yourselves in an emotionally, psychologically deprived scenario and wing it for decades, knowing that every day of the week you're not going to get what you're looking for. You're not going to find that type of environment. So working together and looking out for one another is things that we're supposed to be trying to put into our agenda. But shoot, the way hemp is going and the way they're throwing out those reparations, we might see a bunch of black-owned hemp farmers coming soon. It's smoking up half of their product. It just really depends. But I know that I had tried to set everything up to make sure that Alan had the ability to step in and give his 2 cents. He missed us for today because I definitely wanted to make sure that I took some time aside to set up for tomorrow's show, and I wanted to make sure that I set up a little bit more time to shut up the rest of the week because I don't have those listed up there yet. I've been dealing with a lot of internet problems. So now that I've kind of got a little bit of a leeway, I'm like, I've aired it. I've done my part. If he reaches out to me and he wants to get on a different day, as soon as he logs in, I'll just redirect and then I'll talk to him about the show, the song, stuff like that. And he could just kind of pop in like this was a Conan O'Brien show, just walk on the stage and just start getting it in there. So as it stands, those are the songs that are on the track, the album. It's a 5-song album, and it is called This and That, Everything in Between, because it represents this and that, where we're talking about this, that, and everything in between. And yeah, we just wanted to give a special shout out to Alan and his team for making the songs because we really appreciated him, and we wanted to give him a lot of recognition today, but he got a little bit tied up. So we'll always make sure that we make time for him later on. If he just shows up any day of the week, we'll just have to segue the show's discussion to accommodate him for a brief while, and then after that he can go off of the air and we can go back to the topic of discussion. Either way, we'll try to get him a shout outs out there. Beyond that, today is going to be a little bit of a short show, partially because I've been up for 48 hours because I've been dealing with some real estate deals during the daytime, and I got my students at nighttime, so kind of burning the candles at both ends, and I need to get me some rest in. You will be continuing to hear the songs on the show at least during lives until the record label gets YouTube to recognize that we can utilize them on full tilt. Then they'll take the revenue restrictions off. And until then, I'm just letting you guys know, hey, you can go and watch it in the YouTube channel just by clicking a link from the description button and get all the information that you need. So never fear, it's not over. Beyond that, I just wanted to say, make sure that you guys note that we are live 7 days a week, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 5 Pacific. No, sorry, step back just a little bit. Truth, we are actually 11 Eastern, 10 Pacific, 7 Eastern Standard. Pacific Standard Time, PST. That is going to put you into a position where we're not going to shift with daylight savings time. So whenever we air, and you guys just got to get used to it, because even if the clocks change, doing it at the exact same time. But any country that doesn't recognize daylight savings time, once the ability to runs it, it's not going to hold anybody back. So you guys will be able to enjoy that, catching us 7 days a week. And then I got a lot more advice coming out for y'all. I'm just going to be spreading it out throughout the month. I just got to grab and piece together some topics. So, always got to try to keep that A game up, even when it's hard, even when you're tired and burnt out. I'm always trying to keep that A game up. So that helps me become a more sexy individual, which gives you guys the ability to start becoming more options. So we want to get the men up to a more successful, financially successful situation. And if we can do that, then we can bring the next generation up with us. But until we learn how to do apprenticeships and implement the basic needs of the business so that they can inherit the business, we've got to start trying to get ironclad contracts so that we don't lose our investments and our efforts. So as I spin the wheel on certain topics that we're going to be having for the rest of the month, make sure that you like and subscribe. Also put statements in the comments that gives us ideas that we can run that you're interested in. We could do some research in them. Beyond that, just keep the water off my back, keep me from chipping away off the cliff. So, ladies, as I say every night as I walk out the door, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking you, ladies, to make it make sense. So, ladies, please make it make sense. And then, fellas, special shout out to Omni81, Red Void, Liberty Twitcher, AJ, Duck, Soso. Really appreciate you guys for showing us love whenever you can. Without the fans, we wouldn't know where we'd be. So we really appreciate you guys for coming to the podcast. And always go double check your merchandise store, since we've got a direct link to that now, because they weren't just in the descriptions, but they've updated the YouTube platform, and now you have a direct link to the products. So I encourage you guys to go take a look at that, because you could benefit from some of the things that you find. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that's going to be a waste of money, but there's going to be some things that you can find that is valuable in and of itself, and then you find out that they got it on discount. So make sure you guys just stick with us to see what all we have in store. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. My name is Sander, host of This and That, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. And you guys can actually rock out to the outro song, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.